Welcome to more Be Live with Dani Ke'lly. I'm here, host Dani Ke'lly, direct from Culver City, California, at the Creative Studios, a place that is not just a studio, but a concept for your creation. Thank you so much for being here at the Be Live with Dani Ke'lly channel. Send your like, share your content, and talk to everyone. I would love to hear from you. Send you a message. And if you need any guests you'd like to meet, I have here at the channel. I am more than welcoming you to come with us to this journey. Today you have a very special, I can say this, you're gonna make a history today over here at the Beloved with Dani Ke'lly podcast. I'm very honored to receive the most youngest candidate for the city of Los Angeles. He's making the history. He's gonna take Los Angeles to a new era for LA. Today, we are diving with the voice shape the future of our cities. Today, we're thrilled to talk with Misael Ortega, a visionary and determined Latino leader running to become the next mayor of Los Angeles in 2026. The youngest candidate in history, with deep roots in the Latino community and bold dreams for a fairer, more resilient Los Angeles. Misael is ready to tackle the challenge defining our current moment. Get ready for a dynamic conversation about crisis, hope, and the power of Latino representation in the heart of the City of Angels. Thank you so much, Misael, for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I know, I'm excited too to have you here in the studio.
This is beautiful here.
Thank you. Like it?
I love this. I love this. What caught my attention was this, really beautiful, and then to have someone like you and someone like you with me. This is amazing.
Thank you. I'm honored to have you here. You are the youngest, brave, young, new generation of politics in the city of Los Angeles, and this is really a turn point, right?
Yeah.
Refreshing time. So you bring like your new perspectives to the city of Los Angeles. And what made you do this to yourself, like this challenge? Because you got this challenge to like, okay, I have idea and I want to step into the politics of the city of Los Angeles, one of the most important cities in the whole world. Like this is very, very so important to know that you're gonna take a term on the one of the most important cities of the whole world. How do you feel?
You know, it's nerve-wracking and it's scary, but exciting because it's a new era that's gonna come in Los Angeles, and we're ready for it. We're ready to tackle on the new things, out with the old, in with the new. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, and you are right. It's it's a powerhouse city.
Exactly.
With amazing people. So exactly. I'm excited.
Because in LA, everything happens in LA, and the whole world is watching us over here.
Right.
So we are the center of the attention, the center of example for the whole world. So everything we do over here, we reflect outside.
Correct.
Like not even outside Los Angeles, but outside the whole world is gonna watch us.
Yep.
So once you get on power, you're gonna be the first youngest mayor ever in LA.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited because they're going to know everything about me. Okay. Anything in the past, they're going to know everything about me. So I'm
tell me now, start now, who is Ortega?
You know, Ortega is a young kid that grew up in Los Angeles, pretty much West LA, right? The west side of Los Angeles, you have Culver City, you have Venice, Santa Monica, Malibu. So I'm from that area. I grew up in Marina Del Rey, and then after Marina Del Rey, I went to Culver Middle School, Culver High School.
Yeah, I know.
With my father, and this is my hometown. Culver City is my hometown, and I love it. But after growing up, as soon as I hit 17, this is actually breaking news. I almost became a police officer when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
I almost became.
Why you want to become a police officer?
My dad was in the military, and my dad's position in life was do good things in life, respect people, honor people, and and do the right thing in life.
Yeah.
And so he believed a police officer had all that, as a uniform. When you wear a uniform, that's who they are. So as soon as I was going to hit 18, I was going to become a police officer, and then my dad eventually said no. He said, you know what, son, I want you to work with me. So my dad is my dad now is a contractor. We're contractors now. So I work in construction.
There's a big industry for contracting in LA, especially in LA. Very busy.
Now it is because of the Palisades.
Yeah.
But before that, 7 years ago, I became a contractor, and actually my first job as a contractor was in Palisades.
Wow, and then you want to talk about all this fire happening in LA.
Oh, I got a lot to tell you. Yeah.
Yes, but
I got a lot to tell you.
Yeah, so during this contract, you have job experience. What was the most difficult part for you that you face, like you being, a Latino, and work with your dad, and you start to see the world a different way, the things LA need, like in your perspective?
Mm-hmm. Working with my dad was very interesting because there was times where I didn't want to work with him because as a contractor, you want to do the fun stuff, but in contracting life, there's also stuff that nobody wants to do. Like for an example, my dad's a painter, so I come from a painting family. So I just want to roll up and down paint, right? That's the easy stuff.
But then you have to go to details.
You got to go details, and that details would be putting, paper on the floor, getting on your knees, putting tape, and it's like, when am I gonna roll? When am I gonna spray, right? So I felt like Dad was showing me like what hard work was before you start learning how to do the fun stuff. And so, as a contractor, I've learned that from my dad, and I've used that in life as well.
So did it shape you as you are right now? To learn about the details, how important it is to start from the scratch and then go to the end. Do you believe this mold you to be who you are, and you now know what is the flaws that you need to be fixing in LA?
Correct. It's always important to start from the bottom and always climb as much as you can to the top. Because a lot of people now, they don't want to do that. They don't want to put the sacrifice, especially my generation. We just want to go to the top,
easy.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, with me is I learned from the bottom. And during the bottom, I've learned and met people. Like we call them in construction, we call them mentors. I've met and learned and observed mentors that, would give us jobs. And they would see me go on the floors, put tape, and they would love that because it would remind them of me when they were young, right?
Exactly.
And so that's how we start building relationships. If they just see me pulling up in the Mercedes, right, and this kid with the jewelry, they're not going to respect me a lot because they're probably thinking like, well, who's this guy?
It's easy. That's easy. So
exactly.
Nothing came easy from you, right? Everything you have to work to earn the respect, the work. So tell me, how was this journey before you arrived now over here, the podcast, announcing that you're running for the office?
Right. The journey was fun. I'll say this. It was fun. Now, I came from the bottom, climbed to the top with my dad. I took the company to the next level, meaning I put an LLC on it, right?
Oh.
I created the website. I created pretty much how to learn how to do invoices and estimates because back then in the 80s or 90s, like my dad, they would just give a number out.
Exactly.
And they would say, okay, that's fine, even though it's probably lower than what it, lower usually is supposed to be higher. But back then it was more easy for my father. Now it's structure, and that's what I bring to the table. Structure in the company. I got to make sure everything looks good. Presentation is key, right? And so now that's what a lot of mentors like now, and they're observing that.
Yes, I see that. I see that a lot of the new generation is taking over now, parents, like the family business, and to make it to the next level.
Right.
And I see that they go to school, they get education, they got more also resilient to make sure the business is growing. So they don't leave the business behind. They just going for the next level.
Right.
I believe that steps leads to more power, right? To these generations that they want the parents going through a lot and they are fixing the problems.
Correct.
Is that what you want to try to do in LA, or you want to do in LA? Not trying. You want to do in LA. You're looking to fix the problems in LA.
Yeah, I want to take everything that I learned from my. Well, I would say this. because I have to honor my dad. It's his business. He's the one that started it, right? I don't want to say it's me because I'm the paper guy work, right? I just structured it. But my father's the one that does all the labor. He's the one that sacrifices time from 7 o'clock to, 7 o'clock at night. And so I admire that. I personally maybe wouldn't do that, right? But my father still has that will of the old generation that they love to work. They love to work and they don't quit, they don't bark, they don't, no excuses. Job has to be done. So I've learned that from my dad. I've structured it, and you're all right. A lot of families that are they want to slow down. The new generation's coming in, and so it's like playing CEO without the labor work, right? And ChatGPT is like it's a game changer. It's a game changer, And so I would bless my dad because he's the one that did all the hard work. I'm just here to do the paperwork, but I want to bring my knowledge, my experience to Los Angeles because it needs an update. I would say this, make it clear, Los Angeles needs an update. And right now, the city is dying.
Exactly. That's what I was going to dive into this conversation. Because with all this technology, AI coming in, and the younger generation knows they have their hands on the AI, the technology, all the information, and the renovation. I believe that you have fresh starts to LA with all this crisis. You have the fire, you have the crisis with like homeless, you have the crisis without jobs, right? And you have also a security crisis and the violence, and on top of this, the immigration crisis. So I want to know more about what you have to bring to LA as a renovation with your young power. Because the young people have all these great ideas, but they need the support and they need a chance. It's like you're getting your first job. Nobody wants to give because you have no experience. But we need to open our minds for the young generation to come with a new view, with new vision for LA. So tell us about what you're looking for to bring to LA.
Well, I would say this. I would agree with experience, right? Because I absolutely have no experience in politics. But we already have the experience out in LA, and the city is bad. So I would say this, like Miss Karen Bass and City Hall, they have all the experience in the world, but the city is going down. It's on its knees right now, and crime is going up. So I guess with me is, I took it personal when Palisades happened, the fire, because my first job as a contractor was in Palisades.
Oh, your heart was there.
I was there when the fires happened, actually. I was there when the fires happened, and I remember me packing. I remember getting a call from my mentor, and he said, come to our house. It looks like there's like a small little fire. And so I drove as soon as possible, and me and the people that are working there, we spotted it, and it was small. It was small, and it started to grow like big.
So you're there on the beginning?
Yeah, we were there in the beginning. We even filmed it. We even saw the Canadian planes from the house fly, because Canadian planes were the ones that were helping. Exactly. So we saw the Canadian planes, and as soon as I saw the fires, started to grow. And next thing you know, I told my mentor, I said, hey, look, we need to get out. The fire's coming close. And it was like very close. I mean, the house is right here and the fire was like right here. And so it was scary. So we had to get all his stuff, rush it, put it in the SUV. There was dogs, there was animals there. So it's like, the animals were protected. That's number one. But everything else, we had to rush in and pack. And, we did also walk through. There's a guy named Spencer. Spencer and Heidi. They're like a celebrity couple in Palisades. And I remember me and my friend, when the fire was happening, we actually wanted to see like how close was the fire. We actually went to his house. I was right next to Spencer. And he was, and obviously I didn't want to say like, oh, wow, you're famous, right? But I was there next to him when the fires were happening. And I can just see his whole face just like...
Was so cute.
Absolutely. All the memories, all the kids, you can never get that back. All the art, all the work when you're little, right? You can never get that back.
And then especially Palisades was such a beautiful, cozy city. Like a beautiful, cozy, small city that everybody knew each other.
Oh my God.
And then it's really like it's shameless to what happened. So what would be your proposition do not let happens like now events like that in LA, like example fire, like what you do like in your when you time running their office.
Well, just for an example, I want to make this clear. The mayor is a CEO of Los Angeles. So his or her job is to make sure that the city is functioning, right? So if I was the mayor and I knew there was areas where it was fire, I would go with my car, or somebody would take me to the high places where they have fires, and I would check if there's water. Or I would even check if we can maybe water the area, like maybe like once a month or 2 times a month. Maybe we can figure out some kind of technology to bring water from the ocean, and then just because salt and salt water and that won't work. But we have so much technology. We can clean it, right?
Yeah, I agree. Any hazard areas should be double
absolutely.
Standards for like check. It's a hazard area. It's gonna be fire at the time. So it's just make it like now the water irrigation.
Put sprinklers or something.
Everywhere.
Right.
Why you don't have sprinklers? Why they wait to burn until they come with a solution? Because until now I don't see any solution. There is no solution right now.
It's blaming right now. People are blaming each other.
Yeah.
I think they just the mayor just pretty much removed the chief of fire department recently and got a new one in. But no matter what, this all goes to the mayor, because the mayor is the CEO, and so she should take responsibility and account for it. And again, back to Palisades. When I think of Palisades, I think, to me, that was the American dream as a city.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. The village was stunning. And I've met a lot of people there when, as a contractor, I would go to like Ralph's, and then I would go to the food trucks, and then, you would go to like, there's like a hardware store there in the corner, and we would buy materials, and the people were there were just amazing, right?
Coffee place, the bank. I know, I used to go there, and I also like to go the trails, the park.
Yeah.
Was beautiful, and it's just like I couldn't believe it when it happened, and it's really shameless. It's just to see that city is done, it's gone.
It's gone, and now it's not going to be the same anymore, because I heard a lot of foreigner people, like Chinese or people from India, are buying the land, and it's very sad, because those homes were from generations as well. It wasn't just. A lot of people say it's rich people. Okay, well, they earned to get that home. Whatever the family did to get that home, they earned it, right?
Yes.
And so I just don't want to,
And tell me now about the price of this, the high rent, the skyrock rent price in LA, because everything's so expensive now.
Yeah.
And seems like there are not enough homes for everyone.
Right.
But even though the rent is so expensive,
right.
Tell us, what is the problem? What's the core problem of this? The housing in LA.
Well, this is where my mentors and the people that are listening now that are CEOs and LLC and corporates are going to get probably mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to have to say it.
Tell me.
So, rent is super high. Landlords are taxing people, right? I think for one bedroom it's like $3,000, right? $2,500, and you know what they're going to say? Location.
Yeah.
That's what they charge, okay?
Zip code, not the zip code.
Right. And I had a friend tell me the other day, he said, well, I'm moving to Playa Vista, right, or Marina Del Rey, but the apartment is like from the 70s, and he still has the 70 lamps. So if you're going to charge me how you want to charge me, then charge me from the 70s, right? So this is where I'm going to get a little probably hate from my mentors and people that are supporting me. I'm going to lower the rent immediately, right? I'm going to put an executive order, right? Because as like the president, the mayors have executive order, just like the president, right?
Yes.
The only thing is the president can actually do it, right? The mayor has to go through city hall, right? So one of my first 5 executive orders is lower the rent immediately, right? 1 bedroom, $800. 2 bedrooms, $1,002, right?
But how can you do that? Because the landlords they own the homes.
You ready?
So if you're gonna start to put price, and each one is gonna be a base price, and they can put on top, or it's gonna be how it will work?
Well, this is the best part about America, right? And I love this country. I believe in the free market. I believe in enterprise, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna compete with them. If the landlords refuse to not obey by the ordinance that I'm gonna put in,
Yes.
then I'm gonna compete with the landlords. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut down Hollywood Boulevard. I'm gonna shut down Hollywood Boulevard. I'm gonna bring a group of friends that I'm working with, right? But it just depends. It's called Live Nation. Live Nation is an
Okay.
entity that does like concerts for like cancer, AIDS, and stuff, and all the fun stuff. So that I'm gonna negotiate with Live Nation. I'm gonna say, you know what? Let's shut down Hollywood Boulevard. Let's bring Live Nation, and all the funds that we get from that, it's gonna come to me because I'm a contractor. I build, so all the funds come to me, and we create our own buildings for $800 a cap. Now landlords have an option. You either obey that order, right? And if you obey that order, some of the buildings that we create, we're gonna give a little bit of substitute from so they won't have to lose. Or second is they're gonna lose their clients because no one's gonna pay $3,000.
So is this related to the Section 8?
No. This is gonna be for people that pay taxes and people that qualify. I think, to me, housing is not. It shouldn't be like a privilege. It should be a right for people, like a rooftop, like a roof over your head should be a right? But I think
home is expensive right now. You
Right.
don't buy a home less than $1 million right now.
crazy.
Yeah,
But and then let me ask you this: who is telling people that it's worth $1 million? Just like
Appraisal now, the appraisal.
yeah, but who's telling the appraiser that? How is he getting from the square foot? Is it because he's saying its location?
Is a bank maybe?
Well, I would say this, and I take notes as a contractor. When I do a paint, like let's say I'm gonna paint a door, I'm gonna put my own price. I'm gonna say $800, but somebody else can come and say I'm gonna do it for $300. So I want to know who is putting these prices that believe it's worth this much. Because if you go around the corner here, you get a 1 bedroom and it's like not in good shape, and they're charging $1 million. But why though?
But it is not because after pandemic and with all the resources are scarce, like you have no resource, you have no material, everything was delayed, right? And the prices start to come more high and high and high. And after pandemic, a lot of things change, even the price. Like you go to the markets right now, you don't buy less than $200 in the markets, like for one day, and then before you could buy $100 shopping, now we go for $300, $500.
Right.
So after pandemic, everything shifts, and even though also the rent shifts. So how can you help those rents go lower? You have a base, and doesn't hurt the landlords and also the renters.
We have to disrupt the housing crisis. We have to disrupt it. If we don't disrupt it, they're just going to keep going up, and people are going to be leaving LA. It's not going to be affordable for people. Mind you, that you also have to make 3 times whatever you make in order to even qualify, right? And so people still lose regardless, right? Nobody in LA is making over $200,000-$300,000 a year. That's no ways. Maybe like 20% of the population is, but the rest, they're surviving right now.
They're surviving.
Exactly, and so the only way for me to compete and make the apartments affordable is if we compete with them and we create our own buildings. It's not a Section 8. It's not for low income. It's the right thing to do for people, right? That pay taxes.
That's wonderful.
So, and also the homeless crisis situation.
The homeless crisis situation, looks like now is a little more control. But what you see over there? Because we are here on the Culver City, so
Right.
I see a different delay from the east side, from the west side.
Right.
So it is your agenda for the homeless situation?
Well, I guess speaking about the apartments and the affordability, the city just bought a couple of buildings in downtown LA, and they're really nice, almost like skyscrapers, and they're gonna put homeless people in there. So you're telling me you're putting people in there that need mental help,
Exactly.
mental help
First.
But you're not gonna put people that are making $50,000 a year, and at least they're trying to contribute to society, but they can't get an apartment like that, right? And so the city does have ways to put people in apartments. They just don't do it, and they want to pocket themselves. And that's something that I'm also gonna keep track. We're gonna audit the city as well.
So it's easy to put a homeless there than someone who works. Because I see a gap in the system.
Right.
There's a big gap of people who works, pay taxes, and then those people somehow they lose the jobs for 6 months.
Right.
They have no rights for any help from the city, nothing.
Zero.
That's zero help.
Right.
For nothing. And then they are working for 1 year, but they have, but and then people who, and then there's a gap there. That's how can you fix the gap? Like, are you going to recreate again the system? How fast can you do that to fill in the gap?
We're gonna reconstruct the system, right? We're gonna reconstruct the system. We're gonna make sure it benefits the people that are actually working and paying taxes and actually contributing to our society, Los Angeles, right? Somebody that's working 3 jobs and they still can't afford to live in a nice place, I think that's wrong. You know, I was driving around, some areas in Los Angeles, and some people are saying, look, they're only giving me part-time. And so I want full-time, but they're giving me part-time, and I can't survive off of this. I said, I wrote down, I said, it's so saddening because these people are at least working hard.
They're trying.
Let me be, and again, the people that are homeless, again, there's a lot of factors, right?
Exactly.
So it's not always because they're drug addicts. It could be family issues or, mental health issues, and that's nothing important. But I think they need to be helped first. The homeless people need to be helped, and then once they're helped, then you put them on a track where they can at least have the ability to work.
I see.
And then from there put them on. But I think people that are paying taxes, people that are contributing to society, even if it's the lowest, I think 50,000, 40,000 is poverty level, but those people are still paying taxes. Those people are still working. They still have families. They still have kids, right? And so let's help those. Let's lower the rent. And if the landlords don't want to, I'm going to compete with them. I will compete with them. I believe. Look, I'm a modern Democrat, and so I love this country. I believe in free enterprise, the free market. So just like Google, just like AI, right now they're competing with each other. I'm going to compete with the landlord.
Wow, this is going to be powerful. I want to see this, and I'm going to watch. I'm going to be there, like reporting everything that's going to be happening. Really believe that we need to fix the gap because it is really a shame that a family with 2 kids, 3 kids, and they suddenly on the streets because they cannot pay the rent, but they are working, and that it damaged the whole family.
Right.
And even though it's for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, the whole family is damaged. It's like the kids become so hopeless, and then the system cannot get them, and they tear their family apart.
Right.
And it is devastating. So I believe, I hope that you can fix this gap in the system.
Yeah.
It's like this, but they cannot see it. They cannot watch it. They don't know because they never lived in that life.
Right. And the thing is also, from what I learned as well, if you get evicted from any apartment, it's in your record for 7 years.
Wow.
And when you apply for another apartment, you won't be qualified because it's like credit. They're gonna check your history. So my thing is this to all the landlords that are listening: if you want to do that for people, because you never know, life could happen. You can lose your job, right? So it's not always because you don't have any money. No. Life can happen. Okay. So what I'm planning on doing also is, if they want to put that on the regular people in Los Angeles, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put like a record or a tab on each apartment. And I'm gonna figure out what's the history of those apartments. So when people want to rent in these apartments, they're gonna see the history of it. Yes. Oh, did it have roach problems? Did it have bug problems? Did it have mold? So let's put it on an equal playing field here. You want to do that to the people that have hardship, and then they because of the consequences they can't rent. Then we're gonna do that for the apartments.
I have a question for you that comes to my mind. Does Los Angeles has the bank for the people? Like we are the people, right? Does the bank, Los Angeles has a bank specific for the people?
Like when you say a bank, like
a bank that it is for the people, like it is to serve the people, because you have vouchers, you have medical, Medicare.
Right.
We have money you can go from Call Fresh, right? All this. But a bank that's for the people. Like if you have emergency like this, right? I lost my job. I was working, and for 3 months, 6 months, I have no job.
Right.
There's any kind of support for the family.
I think no at the moment, because that would be a high risk for the bank, right?
Oh, I see.
Just because they don't want to take that loss,
No.
right? And they're not going to get the money back,
Exactly.
right? So, but there should be some kind of support system where
Exactly.
if people lose their job or something happens in the family, there should be, we're like, okay, well, let me help you out. But again, LA has so much money. They have so much money. Again, we're a power city home.
Exactly.
We're a power city county that, we're movers, we're shakers, we're visionaries, right? And all the people here are one of the most smartest people. Even people around the world want to come to LA, right?
Everybody wants to come
Everybody
to
wants to
LA.
come to LA.
We are the fifth economy in the whole world. The
Fifth.
city, just the city.
Yeah.
Just over here.
And you're telling me that you cannot lower the rent? You telling me that you can't? Oh, here's another thing. I'm also running because, again, the minimum wage doesn't reflect the cost of living.
Oh no, totally not.
And this is another thing that my mentors are gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna raise the minimum wage. Are you ready for this?
But how can you raise the minimum wage? You're gonna be fighting with everyone in the city.
So be it.
You're gonna be fighting with
We need to shock the city that this is not livable wages.
But it's small companies, it's small business. They're
Right.
gonna be hurt,
We're gonna target not mom and pops, which are small businesses. We're gonna target high-end corporates, LLCs that make more than 500, maybe $1 million a year. And there are companies that do that. But again, like Del Taco or like Wendy's, right? Those companies, they have all the funds. I think they're generating billions of dollars every year. You telling me you can't give them like a nice $10 raise or a $15? That's not going to affect them. At the end of the day, it's not going to affect them. So my proposal is raising the minimum wage so that now it's not minimum anymore. Now it's survival. And people need to survive. They have to, And so I'm thinking of raising it. This is the scary part. I'm going to raise it to $60 an hour. $60 an hour. So I'm going to compete with hedge funds.
Yeah.
I'm going to compete with high corporates, and I hope they're listening because that's what's going to happen.
This is going to be a kind of iconic time in LA if you do all these raises. This is going to be iconic. I must watch this because I love politics.
Yeah.
I don't have right and left. I'm independent. I believe that we have to run for the people, represent the people, and be the power for the people.
Right.
And but this is gonna be iconic. I want you showing here. You're putting together a really extreme,
very radical
plan for the city.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be like you're gonna make a movie of you after this because it's gonna be iconic.
I'm a negotiator, right? And I'm for business owners. I'm for the little people. But again, I've been living in a bubble in West Los Angeles, and my life's been good. So far, as a contractor, you make more than the minimum wage, and so you can go out to Rodell Drive, have dinners, you can rent cars at Hertz, you can take the beautiful ladies, everything you could, right? But I realized when Palisades happened, it gave me a shock because then I wasn't getting calls no more for work. Then I wasn't, my mentors were trying to scramble to see what's next. So I saw my account go down. And then I was like, wait a minute, hold on a minute. Are you telling me now I have to see like how much money I have in my account?
So you're just checking, facing inequality. Like the time of like this parameter of economy is changing.
Changing in front of my eyes.
And start to see like, oh my God, and if I'm feeling like this, how about them?
And that's why I went to travel to 52 areas in Los Angeles that the mayor governs.
Did you go already?
I went to Watts. By the way, Watts to me is very special because that was the first area that the mayor governs. And it has a stereotype that Watts is dangerous and evil and there's game bangers and all that. As soon as I went there, I saw two beautiful women with two beautiful kids, African American. She had an American flag in the back. I thought to me that was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. As soon as I got there, I went to 113 Nickerson's projects. It's in the hood, what they call it. I was loved. I was welcomed like I've never been welcomed ever. And these people here are so incredible in Watts. They were so friendly. And it got to the point where when we did the trip at Watts, they literally waited for me to get in my car so I can leave peacefully.
Wow.
And so, again, Watts, South Central, And don't get me started with Echo Park and Silver Lake because that's a whole different culture over there.
Yeah, this is more like artistic.
Artists, little people that don't live in
Yeah.
LA, they come and I didn't speak to them. I spoke to the people that live in Silver Lake.
Really?
And one of the ladies named, Rosie, I call her Silver Lake Rose. She was doing her yard sale. She couldn't do it all the way in the front because, they were all bought out by like people from New York. She said people from New York are coming to Silver Lake and buying all the property and making things all up. So she has to make money by selling her little yard sales. And she's been there for like 30 years.
Because now it's more hippie looking right now.
It
the
is.
Area,
It's so different. Yep.
Different artists. And
So different.
it's like a New Yorker vibe. I
That
see
is
the
correct.
New Yorker
That
vibe
is
right
correct.
now when you
Yep.
drive there, like
Yep.
the arts and the way the buildings.
Right. And again, I'm not hating that people want to come to LA because I think it's beautiful because, they bring money. But these people that I'm talking to from Silver Lake, Echo Park, Boyle Heights, East LA, Watts, South Central, they all share the same story.
It's true.
And rent is too high. It's not affordable to live in LA.
No.
The minimum wage doesn't reflect the cost of living. Help us. Help us, help us, help us. Because now you have to decide either do I spend that $100 on groceries or do I spend the dollars on my child's, book stuff or her toys. So to me, that's so important,
I see that. It also talk about the end hunger in Los Angeles for good.
Yeah.
And also support women health, freedom, and rights. So tell more about what you have in mind.
I want to make Los Angeles the first city in the country to eliminate hunger. Now, I know people put food banks, they go to the churches and they ask for food, right? But I know a lot of stores, they throw a lot of food away. They throw hundreds of thousands of foods away, like Ralph's, Vons, these high. Why not preserve, like before they expire, like in 3 or 4 days? Why don't we just collect before they expire, and then and create like almost like a food bank, and then just pass them out to people that are hungry? I think food should never be thrown away if it's still good, but they do throw it away.
Yeah.
So that to me, I'm going to establish at every corner a food bank or a system where people can go and get their food. Cereal, milk, eggs, whatever. Because again, a lot of high-end groceries, they throw a lot of their food away, and it's a waste. So we're going to end that.
I really like this the concept that to help people the needs and the basic, right? Because I believe the housing, food, and health should be the basic
100%.
right, and education for the all human being, the whole world, not even only. How about education? How about the schools? What you talk about? You see a lot of this massive shooting people on the schools. It's not safe anymore to leave your kids. So what do you have in your agenda for that?
Well, again, I love this country, and I'm very patriotic, right? I believe in the American flag. I believe in the rights, the freedom, and I believe in law and order. But at the same time, this is a tricky because I don't want to stumble in somebody's rights, right? Like to bear arms, right? That's the very popular one, to have guns.
Yeah.
But I think to me, maybe schools should have a better, more secure system, right? Instead of people can just walk in.
Yes.
They should invent some kind of like rooms
100%
that are bulletproof, right?
100%.
And cops have to react as soon as possible if there's a shooting going on. They have to come. To be honest with you, maybe it's a good idea to put like almost like they do have a police school, like police officers that work for school. Maybe they should have their own little section in the school in the corner, right? So in case something happens.
Like the same, like if you go to any building that has the guardian building, or if you go to a corporation, you have security over there to check your ID,
100%.
check on you. At school,
Right.
to be the same procedure.
Right.
Just check them ID, what you're doing here, what time you come, or maybe make appointment, but does not show up like from nowhere, just walk into the doors.
That's a great idea. I think they should establish, just like you said, security, like they have it in banks. They should secure the school. They should have like a resource police officer, like
right in the front.
Right in the front, 100%.
Right in the front.
That would be smart.
Because our kids is
Holy
our
smokes.
precious thing you have in life.
Right, and then from there
That's
we
our
can
kids.
Well, the kids are important. Families.
That's the future for America.
100%.
Kids are future for America.
Yeah.
Everyone's precious for America.
Right. Right.
So you should treat them like you're precious. You're important for me.
Right.
Just keep them safe.
Right.
Keep the door safe. Keep the gate safe.
And I'm surprised the city hall hasn't even thought about that. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's so much ideas that we can implement into LA.
And it looks like so.
And it's common sense. Common sense, but over there, they live in their own bubble.
Yeah,
They
the
live in
bulb
their
is
own
a
bubble.
problem.
That's
the
the
bulb
problem.
is always a problem.
Yeah.
How about now the hot topic we are all talking about is I'm immigrant, I'm Brazilian. And then we have been living in the time this year was so scary, and that's why I have also my podcast. I talk about immigration,
Right.
but I have my podcast even before a year and a half before anything happened. I know we have to follow the laws,
Right.
follow the rules, be legal over here, but you have a gap also with immigrants. They have undocumented immigrants, but they also have a family. They live here for 20 years, 15 years,
Right.
and they bought homes. They have buildings. They have business. They have kids.
Right.
And what's gonna be happening to this gap? Because it's sad. It's delicate. It's a delicate moment.
Right.
I know, but it is important to talk about it.
Before we even get to that subject, I want to correct the language because they call them illegal aliens, and I think to me that's dehumanizing them. They're undocumented people.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
So that would be my correction right there. Just like how they had African Americans as slaves. That's what the American titled them as slaves. No, they were enslaved people, right? So we got to correct the language before we can move forward with this conversation. So the people that are undocumented, that been living here for so many years, one of the most hardworking people you've ever seen.
Yeah.
One of the most hardworking people, and they put up with everything.
And
right?
they move America.
They move America, right? And they do jobs that people don't want to do, right?
Yes.
And these people, and mind you, speaking about this ICE, in Culver City was actually one of the first places that they actually raided. Culver City and Home Depot and Hollywood. These were the first areas. And you look at the videos, and it's so sad because ICE is only going against the vulnerable people. They're not going against the game bangers. They're not going against killers. And you probably agree with me too. Deport the killers, the rapists,
totally.
child molesters.
100%.
We do that.
They're 100%.
But here's my thing with Republicans too is the Republicans love undocumented people. And they actually work with them, most of all of them. In the restaurants, right? They're bus boys, they do all the food, they do all the car wash, the maids, all that. So
what is going on?
Well, I think up in Congress, they're telling the president exactly what to do, right? Because as you know, Mr. Trump, he wasn't like this before.
No.
He wasn't like this. He was more of a liberal, right? But as soon as he became a Republican, he got some new people in his cabinet, and they started telling them a few things about, hey, you should do this way because the party's not going to vote for you. So again,
so it's a lot of influence.
Oh, it's a lot of influence. I think to me, President Trump could have been one of the best presidents.
They say he's gonna be the best president.
Well, I think he could have, but the problem is he went against the vulnerable people, the immigrants, right?
Yeah.
If he would have just believed what he believed before, like also with women's rights and health, and and he was for undocumented people to get papers, but now he's not anymore because he got influence. But no, I think how the city managed this, it's a disgrace. It's already too late already. The damage is already done. It's done already. So now I'm seeing, Miss Karen Bass, she's doing like emergency, hauling because immigrants are affected and this and that. It's already too late already.
Yes.
If I was the mayor of LA and I seen ICE come to our city,
prevention,
I would be driving every day, every neighborhood and block. I would put every cop in every corner and say, you better make sure that these people are ICE. Because from what I heard, some of them were not ICE. They were being, bounty hunters.
Human trafficking, everything.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody with a mask just pulls up to you, doesn't tell you who he is, or
and drags
you? That's scary. Yeah. Not in America. And so, and they're gonna say, and let me say this one more time. Tom Hall is a director. Well, not director, but he's in charge of ICE, right? And he actually made a good point. He said, "Look, if you want things to be changed about immigration, do it in Congress, because what they're doing is only enforcing the law. So Congress is the one that's enacting this diverse. They want to do this because for voting." Right? They can fix the problem, but they don't want to do it.
They can fix everything.
Everything they could. And so I just think it's sad what's going on with immigration, and I'm stunned.
I know.
But we're gonna help them out. We're gonna help out the migrants. As soon as I become mayor, I'm a negotiator. So I will negotiate with the president, or I will negotiate with whoever's in charge. Absolutely. Because right now they're just going back and forth.
Corporations, the business, everyone. You're going to have a lot of work to do for the next year.
It is. It's, again, and I know what's going on in New York too. There's another mayor running in New York, but he's a socialist Democrat, right? And I respect that if that's what he's running for.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, I'm a modern Democrat, moderate. So meaning I love this country, but I think this city needs to be fair for the people, to everyone, right? And so, like, if we raise the minimum wage, then let's have the CEO sit right here, and let's have his employees sit right here, and let's come to an agreement, right? Because I don't want to go to war with these people. But if they don't listen to the people that are making them millions of dollars, then I will have to go to war with them.
So are you willing to go to war with those people?
If they don't obey or listen to the people that need the help, and there's still people that are struggling and people losing their apartments and there's no food, absolutely I'm going to go to war with them.
So what do you think is happening right now? They are not doing anything, no bring efforts to change anything right now in this current administration?
No, I think right now people are so used to making this as a normal, and it's not normal, right? Again, I saw my account dropped when there was no work, and I was kind of freaking out a little bit. I was saying, wait a minute, hold on. I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. So I can just imagine for people that don't even have that opportunity, they got to figure out, am I going to spend $100 for food for my kids, or am I going to spend $100 for my child's shoes or this phone that she or he wants, right? And so there is a lot that, again, I'm gonna, like Elon Musk says, there's a lot of pork at City Hall, and we need to eliminate all that pork, and we need to figure out what's going on. Again, Miss Karen Bass, I respect her, she's a lovely lady, but at the same time, for me, I think she's not ready for what's gonna happen pretty soon in LA, because the National Guard's coming in already. They're saying that they're going to cancel the Olympics in LA.
No.
Because Trump said it's unsafe in Los Angeles.
But next year, we're going to have 2026, we're going to have a World Cup.
He's going to cancel everything.
He's going to cancel?
That's what he said the other day. He said, New York, and again, Trump, this is Trump saying, right? But he's on his revenge tour.
Yeah.
Because they tried to prison him. They tried to lock him up.
Okay, so you're gonna be feeling, because we all relying right now on this economy coming for 2026. It's gonna be very important economy to the United States, not only for LA but for everyone. To be honest,
and I want people to hear this, I don't care about the Olympics. I don't care about soccer. I don't care about that. I care about what people are suffering now. If I'm the mayor, I will negotiate the best deals that the city has ever seen. And I'll give you an example. I would make a meeting with the people in Dubai. Okay. Saudi Arabia, right? Or anywhere that because I don't know if you're aware, Saudi Arabia is buying a lot of the sports. They're buying UFC, they're buying WWE, they're spending billions of dollars in US sports. I want to negotiate with these people so they can bring their funds into the city, and maybe that's how we can raise minimum wage.
But you know that there are a lot of US companies going to Saudi Arabia. It's a lot of money that you're going over there, and to build, when they have to build that place now over there. But I believe that we have to have this how would I say common communication to balancing everything,
right? Because
they have also American manufacturers now, business going over there. They are there right now, so investing in the money. Right. It's not only their money, we have American money.
Right.
But the over here in LA, I would be so so sad to don't have Olympics in World Cup because I look forward. I'm Brazilian, so I
Right.
love the soccer,
Right.
and I look for because the economy helps a lot of people over here
Right.
in LA. Because the past World Cups, I know that a lot of bars, people depend of the games to bring the economy alive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, we don't have. Again, I admire what the World Cup FIFA is doing, but from what I heard, they're going to put ice in front of the stadiums, so that's going to be very uncomfortable for people to even show up.
Wow.
And the companies like bars that might survive off of this. Well, how about if we create our own events every month? Why don't we bring the world to LA and celebrate it every month? So then the people that that have the bars or restaurants, they can benefit from it. So 1 month would be Germany, 1 month would be Mexico, and when I mean that, I'm talking about like bringing culture, food, all that every month to Los Angeles.
But I just think the World Cup brings diversity more. Is because it's about not only about us, but about everyone over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's that is a world come here, visiting you, rather than only us. Don't you think that's gonna bring more? It's more about like cultural exchange.
It is, but I believe that right now the people are suffering. People are losing their jobs. People are not eating. The economy is really bad. So it's like, what are we going to celebrate if people are suffering?
I understand.
And some of the
your
people there won't even have enough money to even go to the World Cup. These are going to be people scary.
Yeah.
And mind you, masks and now they actually got federal.
Order.
No, they got federal immunity, ICE. So meaning if I touch them, or if a police officer touches them, or somebody,
they are already in.
Exactly. The ICE agent won't face any consequences. That's scary, But again, I'm a negotiator, right? And I love business owners. I deal with them all the time. I want to negotiate with business owners and people to see how we can raise the minimum wage, how we can lower the rent, because the minimum wage doesn't reflect the cost of living anymore, and that this is not normal. And a lot of apartments and buildings says for lease. If you drive everywhere, it says lease. Why is it saying lease? Because a lot of landlords are raising the prices too high. Just because you put hardwood floor, you're gonna put another $900.
I think.
Is that crazy or what? I just think it's ludicrous, and I think we need fair and balance. And we're gonna audit City Hall, right? We're gonna eliminate all the pork. And if I gotta bring Elon Musk, even though I drive a Tesla, even though some ideas I don't like, but if I gotta bring Dodge to City Hall to see what's going on, where all the money's going, because look, if this was Dubai and the cities were beautiful and the roads were immaculate, right, stunning, then yeah, maybe you're charging me $4,000 for a bedroom, right, because everything is beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's not like that in LA. The roads are third world roads. Again, there's still homeless still that we have to tackle, and the apartments are not all beautiful.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They're just inside is different, outside is a whole different world.
I know, Ortega. I'm so thankful to be
Thank
here
you
with
so much.
you and sharing all your thoughts, and to run the youngest, to office the history in LA, and then to bring the new era to LA. I think it is brilliant, and I believe in now. I believe in that. Well, what you have to bring to us in LA, you'll be different from anyone. And I'm here. I want to follow you, and I want to hear more stories next year. I want you to come back and tell me what's going on in 6 months, and then how it's going. And if you need support, let us know. We're gonna be here.
Beautiful.
And thank you so much. And leave our last message to the people on the channel today.
I would say this: don't give up hope. Don't give up on hope. A new era is coming, right? And a lot of these people that are in charge, the taking advantage, it's going to stop immediately when I'm in office, right? We're going to lower the rent. We're going to raise the minimum wage. We're going to protect immigrants. We're going to protect women's rights. We're going to protect the LGBT community as well. And we're going to make sure that we live a survival life, not a minimum life. Because again, Los Angeles, they're right now on its knees, right? And people need all the help they need, and I'm going to be that person to help them out. So I can't wait for you to vote for me. Again, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but we're ready for this. We're ready to tackle.
It's a new adventure.
A new era for LA.
New era for LA, exactly. And thank you so much for being
so
here.
much,
Come
Kelly.
back anytime you need it to talk to people, to share my channel. It's an honor to have you here, Ortega.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
And thanks, Cindy, to have Ortega here. I want to say thank you to Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you. You know, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have this meeting. So
yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. And thank you so much to be here on the channel, Be Live with Dani Ke'lly. I'm here, your host, Dani Ke'lly, directly from Culver City, California, at the Creative Studios, a place that's not just a studio, but a content for your creation. So share all our podcasts, like, leave a comment over there, and talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Ciao.